This is the video review of my custom Sabertooth Nemesis. This is how he scales with the Kingdom figures. And here he is with a couple more of my Beast Wars customs. And here's a shot with some Maximal customs. So here's a shot of his head, and you can see he's just made out of the Universe big convoy figure. And here's a look at his whole body from 360. So you can see a lot of the Sabertooth parts end up on the back. And he does have a couple of accessories, so he does have his cannon. And then he has this Nemesis sword, which has a longer shaft, so he can hold it with two hands. Though it does look a bit small, he probably needs something a bit larger. The articulation on this figure is pretty good. He's got a ball joint neck. It's a little bit hindered by these shoulder armors here, because his cheeks kind of like clash into it. And then he's got ball joint shoulders. So he's got a good range of articulation there. He's got his regular bicep swivel and pivot elbows, which are a little bit less than 90 degrees. And then he has ball joint wrists. So he has a fair amount of range there. And he can do wrist swivel. And he also has a waist swivel. It's got an outward kick, but it's hindered by these hip armors. And then he's got a full forward kick, double joint knees, and a full backward kick with nothing hindered there. And then he also has ball joint ankles, so he can get into a good amount of poses. Transformation is pretty similar to the original big convoy figures. So, and one other accessory is that he does have his dead matrix in his chest that's removable. So that function is still there. So the transformation is pretty similar to the original figure. You just fold up his horns, and then his head does have to be rotated 180, so it's not crashing into his chest. You pull the chest section all the way up as far as it goes, and then you can rotate the whole figure, and you can take the Sabertooth head, and this is on a double ball joint, and get that into position, and then just rotate the shoulders into place. And then his fists are going to rotate down to reveal the claws, and then his fists are just kind of just hanging out in the back of the beast mode legs. Okay, and then for the rear section of the beast, you're going to rotate the waist all the way around, and then you rotate up these hip armors to complete the thighs of the beast, and then you rotate the knees down and rotate the claws forward. And then you do the same on the other side. Okay, and so far you have this Sabertooth mode so far, and then we're going to fill out the back using the gun here. So we rotate the tail down, and we rotate these back sections. So these are like the haunches of the beast, and we rotate the tail up so that everything flows together, and then this is just going to insert in this gap right back here. Okay, and you can see that finishes out the body pretty well. And this is what the Sabertooth looks like when he's complete. He's got articulated jaw, double joint neck, so he's got a lot of posability there. And then he's got the full bicep, or the full shoulder swivel from the ball joint there. And then the 90 degrees at the elbow. And he's still got ball joints on these paws, so you can get a spread on these forelegs. and then ball joints on these, so he still has a spread on these rear legs as well. And you can simulate some walking or jumping poses. So this is what he looks like when he's fully transformed. And you can see I used a Zoids kit to customize this figure. And you can hold his sword in his mouth. And then I haven't handled this figure for a while, so there's definitely some joints that need tightening up, like these, and these vents in the back. Could all use a little bit of polish, and I'm going to polish these ball joints a little bit just to give everything a little bit more tension, because he's a little bit loose. Here's how he scales with the Maximals. I think he would probably be better at MP scale. Okay, and then let's just look at how much he weighs. So it's hard to see that, but he's 15.4 ounces. And Kingdom Megatron here is 11.7 ounces, so he's a little bit heavier than that. So that's my review of the Saber Nemesis. Let me know what you think. Should I finish up my other customs so I can review those too?